I will now I have to figure out how many rooms I want for this. Okay, so I'm going to create some small rooms. So we have just a few people per room. So I hope that you have prepared what you were supposed to prepare. And we are going to be discussing this now. If you have any questions, you come back to the main room to ask, okay? And I say this, okay? Okay, everybody back. Not yet. Okay. Now, I think everybody's back. Yes. Hmm, not sure. All right. Everybody's coming back. I'm not sure my breakout room. I think everybody's back. And so, Doug, are you there?
Yes. Can you
Yes.
see
Okay,
me?
great. Yes.
Yeah. So let's go back to the large group for a moment. And the last question that we asked in the discussion question was is if you could write some guidelines for image processing, or if you wanted to include in there for using AI, um, keep people out of trouble, what rules or guidelines or what things would you suggest? You know, as you look around, you've spent 4 weeks learning a lot about microscopy, but not everybody in your lab spent that time. What would you do to help other people to keep out of trouble? What would you tell them?
Write down everything that you do to the image and especially the parameters you input to any software you might use.
That sounds great. Um, one of the big problems is most software doesn't keep an automatic record. So unfortunately, we're still back to pencil and paper.
Yeah, and especially for image analysis and processing, it's not so easy.
At least with some types of image processing, you can create like a workflow
Mm.
that is reproducible, and then you just maintain that workflow. But yes, um, you know, the putting together of a figure involves a lot of choices along the way. Other ideas?
I think having a motivation for what you've done and also presenting this motivation. So like if you, let's say that you choose the nicest image for presentation, if you said that you chose the nicest looking image, then you're not like lying and saying that all of your images look like this or so. So I think as long as you have a good motivation and is transparent about it, I think it's quite okay.
We talked in our group about being careful about cherry picking the best image. So might want to look for something that's somewhere in the continuum.
And Doug, I don't know if I told you before that I actually quote you on something you wrote a long time ago in the Focus server. That if people have everything written and mention everything, they can be called a fool because they are analyzing their images in one way, but at least they cannot be called a cheat. I liked it,
Yes.
so I put it there.
Yes. Well, and I was at a meeting with representatives from the Office of Research Integrity, and I pointed out that clause about the fact that if you tell people everything that you did, then you're being very transparent. And the gentleman from ORI was just sitting there smiling and nodding his head, and I thought, okay, good, I've been validated.
So I would like to know for you all during the discussion and the reflection that you had yesterday, pre-answering these questions, was there anything that popped up that was surprising, for example, something you had never thought about, and that was a little bit, yeah, something that you will keep with you afterwards?
I would say keeping like better track of the changes that have been done to the images, or exactly maybe more like establishing a pipeline that can be followed. Of course, with the minor adjustments. I will not maybe describe all the time like, oh, I changed this in the gain in the offset, but at least to know that that was changed so that the image would look in a certain way. Because I feel many times we're guided by, oh, looks good this way, but that's not very well reasoned. And then the variation that comes with it is quite a lot.
Yes, and then when you are once you get used to writing things in that way, where you report everything, you also gain some skills into condensing this into a few sentences so that you don't write a book every time. It's also a skill to be had to actually say things with few words. So you need to practice to get that one. Anything else yes, that was, sorry, Guido.
I do want to encourage people to make sure that their methods are clear. Most of us have gone into publications and said, "Oh, I want to reproduce what they did," and they go to read the methods section, and it says almost nothing. I had someone tell me they wanted to look at bacteria last week, and they said, "I want it to be just like this paper," and I went to that paper, and it said, "Well, methods were done in the previous paper." And so I went to the previous paper, and that one took me back 20 years in the past. All I wanted to know was, did they use 100x or not? And yes, they did. And they were using deconvolution on an old Delta Vision system. It's like, okay, so we don't have those anymore.
Yeah. It's quite often, I mean, at least you got the information that you wanted, but it's very common that we don't get them at the end.
Yeah.
That sometimes they don't even mention which, if they image on
I
the
did
control.
it. I went back and I went back, and somewhere along the line, it isn't even there.
Yeah.
I have one or two last slides I wanted to show. I'd like to talk about this just a little bit. The Challenger disaster was, unfortunately, they had a recent anniversary for it. I think it was like 25 or 35 years ago. It's a long time ago now, where they sent the space shuttle up on a cold morning in Florida, of all places. And because of the temperatures, the space shuttle exploded in the first 90 seconds of launch. And as they looked back, they realized that over time, all engineering has specifications. Use this process, you have to lubricate it, you have to do this, test it periodically. And they were pushing the specifications on what the temperature was colder and colder and colder. And eventually the seals and the solid rocket booster failed, and this disaster happened. And they talked about this whole idea of the normalization of deviance, which is basically deviating from acceptable standards. And it's really easy to drift. I'll just make this choice this time and move a little bit this way. I encourage you guys, you're all young, set your standards and don't cross the line, whatever the line is for you, so that when you look back, you can go, I stuck with what I knew was right. And we do actually have snow here on occasion. It's kind of pretty. I'm happy to, and the comment, remember that a good reputation takes a lifetime to build, and it's really only takes a moment to lose.
Yes, that is very true. Are there any more comments or questions or thoughts that you have for Doug? Well, if not, Doug, I want to thank you very much for this lovely activity that we had today. And I hope to see you next year. And I wish you a good rest of the day. Maybe
Thank
breakfast.
you very much, and you all enjoy your dinner. And may all the athletes from all your countries come home safe from the Winter Olympics. We've had a few U.S. athletes that have taken a beating, so let's hope everybody else stays safe.
Okay, thank you very much, and
You're
have a great day. And you guys
All
can
right.
stay a little bit behind so we conclude. Right, bye. So I just want to mention that I've